Hey YouTube, just putting up another video about my psychological problems or thoughts about the LDS Church. So, there are two doctrines I'd like to discuss that I learned in the LDS Church that are very related to each other. I learned both of these from the LDS Church from various sources, including from priesthood meeting and from priesthood leaders. One that I learned in priesthood meeting is always do what your leader says, even if you think it's wrong. Like, don't disobey ever. Always just do as you're told. Even if it's wrong, do it anyways. They say the Lord will bless you for it. And the other one is don't criticize your leaders, even if what you say is true. Dallin H. Oaks said something like that. Don't say anything critical at all about the leaders, even if it's true. So, if you put those two doctrines together where you're always doing what they say no matter what, even if you think it's wrong, and then you never criticize them even if what you say is true, I can tell it should be obvious how well that's going to work out. I mean, it's sad because there appear to be I've run into maybe a few people. I don't have a lot of social interaction with them anymore, but there are a few people in the church I've run into who don't seem to see how that could be a problem, how this system could be a problem in those two doctrines alone. So it's kind of sad too, because in priesthood meeting, priesthood meeting, they tell us always do what your leader says, no matter what, even if it's wrong. And then in priest quorum or teachers quorum or whatever, they taught us what that Joseph Smith said, that you should be using your priesthood to convince and persuade, not by force or compulsion. So it's kind of sad because these two doctrines conflict with each other. You need one doctrine, which was the original Joseph Smith doctrine, or the original Joseph Smith doctrine, said you have to be persuaded to obey your priesthood leader. You have to be convinced by rational, reasonable argument, and you can't be forced or compelled to do it. Where the other one said, the other doctrine that they taught in church, which was completely conflicting, was just do as you're told no matter what, and you'll be blessed for it. So that's kind of one spot where the church loses its mind, because they don't even have what's it called, a uniform doctrine on the matter. And then there's don't criticize your leaders no matter what, even if you think it's wrong. So there are a number of ways this could go wrong. Like in my personal experience, as far as my family has ever remembered, like we're going way back. My memory's a little faulty, but my family actually remembers this better than I do, and I'm pretty sure it happened too, because I sort of remember something like this. It's like something's trying to take it away from my memory, but my family remembers this. My bishop accused me of making a deal with the devil. Now that's sad, because I can't say he's wrong, or else I'd be criticizing him, even though he is wrong. And if he's not wrong, then that means I'm the bad guy anyway. So I'm the bad guy when I say he's wrong, and I'm the bad guy if he's right. So it was really just a really stupid thing to say in the church. It just makes it look like the church doesn't really make sense. And when you really think about this whole doctrine of you can't criticize your leaders no matter what, even if what they say is wrong. Look at Luke 6:26 in the Bible. It's a quote from Jesus. Luke 6:26. I think it says something about how it's something about it is not well. It's not a good thing when all men speak good of you. It is bad when all men speak good things about you, because that's how they treated false prophets. So if everyone goes around saying good things about their leaders all the time, Luke 6:26 right there sits there saying, well, duh, that's how they treat false prophets. So yeah, that's kind of the nail in the coffin for me, is that it says right there in the Bible that this kind of behavior is the way they treat false prophets, and it's just like, I guess I don't believe in the church anymore after that. I've stopped believing for a long time, but I've just got psychological issues about it, So when leaders do things wrong, the church doctrine is that you have to obey it, and you can't criticize it. And then eventually you get Dieter F. Uchtdorf speaking in a church meeting, saying that yes, they've had leaders do things wrong. So that's kind of interesting. I mean, he's allowed to say the leaders have done things wrong, but you aren't allowed to think for yourself about it. Um, like my dad said, that uh, if a leader tells you to do something wrong, most reasonable, rational adults will think twice and say, "I'm not going to do that." And I'm like, but you know what? If the leader tells you to do something wrong and you disobey and you criticize it, then these other people in the church will get all upset and they'll be annoyed or critical or hateful that you said something about the church. So, if the church leader tells you to do something wrong, and you decide, if you're rational and reasonable about it, and you understand you shouldn't obey that doctrine I was previously talking about, you disobey, and then certain church members will get upset that you're not doing as you're told, and that you're even being critical of your leaders. I mean, they will get upset with you about it. They'll get defined with you about it, and then my dad says, well, that's a pride issue on their part, and that's their problem. So that's yeah. Maybe I shouldn't say what my dad says, but you know that sometimes we talk about it. He doesn't like talking about it, but yeah. And I guess that's all I had to say. Okay, bye.